last time, training camps are opening, okay?
We are all the way
Everyone's
back,
reporting for work, okay? And it's great. It's just we're literally almost there, but I think we're kind of there. And so the last time we saw quarterbacks drafted 1, 2, and 3 in a row, and we were wondering how many of those guys were going to start week 1. What ended up happening, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, 2 of the 3 started week 1. And it kind of looks like right now 2 of the 3 are going to start week 1. And just like Trevor Lawrence started week 1, he started every game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The same will be expected of health willing Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears, who basically made no bones about it. I mean, Matt Eberflus was basically, after they drafted him, yeah, he's starting. They didn't even go through the motions of, well, we'll see how training camp is, and Tyson Bagent will get every opportunity. They didn't even try that. I mean, it was obvious from Caleb Williams' pro day when they all showed up with Keenan Allen, newly acquired Keenan Allen. It was basically Bears Day in Southern California. And now the question is what about the other guys in Jayden Daniels and Drake Maye? Jayden Daniels, at his first training camp, there's Marcus Mariota there. And sure enough, as of now, throughout the post-draft period and the OTAs and all that, Dan Quinn has been playing like there's a competition. We'll see how it goes. Not putting any pressure on the guy who, before the draft, was consensus, including Caleb Williams involved. Most pro-ready guy to be drafted. Jayden Daniels, fresh off his Heisman Trophy season, looking the way that he did. And sure enough, training camp's open. Dan Quinn's still doing the same thing right now with his general manager sitting right next to him. This is what he had to say about Jayden Daniels on this day. Hit it.
It's not a secret, but it is a journey and a process. And so as we're going, when he's ready, we'll know. And when he's ready, he'll also know. But as far as the reps go, obviously with him and Marcus and moving around, there'll be certain days that will feature more of another. But like I said, I'm glad that you brought it up, and certainly not a secret. It's a journey and a process. And so through practices, through scrimmages and preseason games, all the way down, that's where the journey will take us. And then I'm not trying to hold back the info, but when we know, we'll say it.
Not a secret.
Okay.
It's a journey and a process. Journey and a process. Okay. Week 1, the Washington Commanders will be starting Jayden Daniels. I'll tell you that right now. That's not a secret to me.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Why in the world would they draft this kid second overall with all the heat on him and all of what we saw last year and say, all right, go get him, Marcus Mariota? That ain't happening. But this is their process, this is their world, and this is what they're going to do, and that's what they feel the need to get ready. And if the kid can basically handle it, watching Caleb Williams, who won a Heisman Trophy the year before him, get completely handed the gig, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's Dan Quinn's new to the thing, new to this place, and we're all competing, whatever. I've been through it. I've seen it all. Kid starting week 1. Get ready, Washington Commanders fans. You're going to get a good look-see at this kid right away. And I'm excited for it. Second overall pick, just like RG3 back in the day. And hopefully, just like RG3 back in the day, he has a dynamite first season. And, what he'll be Danielsing from his butt as he throws a touchdown like this.
That
Remember the
was
RG3?
so sick. When he
Remember
did
that RG3 back in the day?
At New Orleans.
Yeah.
On his butt. Touchdown.
So,
it was amazing.
Yeah, and I believe...
Did you find it?
Let me get this right. Oh, yeah. I found it.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were good.
No, it's okay. Washington Commanders, week 1. I believe it's Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. Washington Commanders are, at Tampa. So, hey, guess what, folks? You'll get a good look-see in Tampa of Jayden Daniels. This is going to happen. And then as for Drake Maye, the 3rd overall selection, he might be in the Trey Lance position of sitting back and watching the veteran have at it. It was Jimmy G at the time, although if you recall, Trey Lance's first season, it was, let's see if he can be the red zone guy. Like Jimmy G will be in between the 20s, and sure enough, the first touchdown pass of the 2021 season for the 49ers was thrown by Trey Lance. They threw him in there inside the 5, I believe, in the red zone in Arizona, and he threw a touchdown pass.
Yep.
And that was all she wrote for him. And he only started 2 games that year. What about Drake Maye?
Drake?
Love the Drake.
We saw the Drake on Hard Knocks a couple weeks ago for the Giants Hard Knocks series that's playing out right now. It's just been fascinating.
It's unbelievable.
And later on in the show, there's the NFL just truly 5 minutes before we went on the air tweeted out a preview of the Tuesday night show, this week's show, where the Giants attempted to trade for Drake Maye. We saw Maye on the board working his magic with Brian Daboll and the rest of the staff in New Jersey there, and looking the part of knowing his stuff. And what about here in New England? No bones about this one in the same way that the Bears were like, gig is Caleb Williams is right now. It's Jacoby Brissett's gig coming out of the spring, and there's no bones about that. Here's what Gerard Mayo had to say on that subject.
Coming out of the spring, I don't think there's any doubt Jacoby is the starting quarterback at this point in time. I mean, we can look at these other quarterbacks on the roster. At the same time, like it's about competition. And so when we get out on the field this summer with the pads on, we'll see how it all plays out. But, coming out of the spring, I think it's clear that Jacoby is the most pro-ready guy we have and play a lot of football.
He has played a lot of football, and for that franchise. So, of course, the follow-up question to Gerard Mayo is, hey, Coach, does that mean no shot for Drake Maye here in the summer? And this elicited an interesting answer.
Look, if Drake, and this goes to any position, if he comes out here and he lights it up, and once again, it goes back to the quality of reps, it could absolutely happen. Like, I sit here and tell you, like, coming out of the spring, Jacoby looks like the starting quarterback. Now, with that being said, he'll have competition. There's like, let's not forget about even Joe Milton. And let's not forget about Zappy. All those guys will have opportunities to go out there and be the starting quarterback in week 1.
Okay, so my 2 impressions of what Gerard Mayo just said as the head coach of the New England Patriots are twofold. First one, the obvious. That's actual information from a head coach of the New England Patriots about a roster decision.
Right.
Wow.
What's that like?
What?
What a novel idea.
I think, was Pete Carroll the last one to give us
I think so.
that type of info?
I think so. It's been a while. I mean, a question was asked, like, what's the depth chart decision-making process? And you got an answer from the head coach with details. And then a little bit of the Belichick, a little bit of the Bill saying, no, forget about Joe Milton and Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, Chris.
Let me tell you what.
Let me ask you this question, Chris.
Oh, man.
What if I
Let me ask you this question.
Oy, oy, oy.
Okay.
I have no explanation for what happened.
Let me ask you this question. Week 1 of the National Football League season hits.
Yep.
The New England Patriots are welcoming in. Where do they
we're
start?
at Cincinnati.
Oh, you're at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So the Patriots are at Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and after everything that's gone down, out trots Bailey Zappi because he had a great summer. How you feeling about that?
I'm going to throw a brick through my television.
There you go. So on behalf of, that does leave other screens for you in the house. But that said,
Yeah, but still.
He's saying there's a competition in the same way that Dan Quinn is inferring that by saying, Jayden Daniels, we'll let you know when we see a starting quarterback. Okay. 2nd overall pick, I see a starting quarterback because the Jets did with Zach Wilson. And this trio of quarterbacks, I must say, a higher ceiling of expectation than the trio of quarterbacks the last time. The number 3 overall pick Trey Lance had not played a down of football in over a year because of the COVID season, wiping out his final season, right?
Yep. He played, I think, the first game, and then they shut it down.
And then they shut it down.
Yeah.
And then Zach Wilson was, okay, showed a lot of ability at BYU, had a really nice pro day.
That one throw at the pro day was
Let's see.
sick.
Romo, I remember at the time, Romo said he's got the ceiling of Patrick Mahomes, so let's go. And Trevor Lawrence was essentially the can't-miss guy that you had to get. So Caleb's that guy right now. Jayden Daniels, far more decorated resume than Zach Wilson. And Drake Maye, even though he hasn't played a ton of football compared to kids coming out of college, you'd like a heck of a lot more experience than Trey Lance. So the last time, again, we saw three starting quarterbacks, or last time we saw three quarterbacks start the draft, 1, 2, and 3 being picked, Trevor lost his first 5, 6 of 7, and went 3-14. But there's an asterisk to that. The asterisk, it's the urban asterisk. Okay? Zach lost his first 3, 5 of his first 6, got hurt, came back, won 2 of his final 7. And Trey Lance only started twice. That's a low bar to clear, and I think these guys are going to clear it. I think your guy Drake Maye is going to start sooner than I thought coming out of the draft, brother. Kind of got that idea here.
November, please.
Now, I understand that because you look at the Patriots' schedule to start.
Brutal.
We have covered this quite a bit. At Cincinnati, home for Seattle, and then at the Jets. That's the short week game. That's a Thursday nighter. At San Francisco, home for Miami, then Houston at home, in London against Jacksonville and Wembley, which is essentially the Jaguars' home stadium there. Literally, the owner owns it. Home for the Jets, at the Titans, who I have told you will be better than you think. At Chicago, so on and so forth. Home for the Rams. My goodness, I don't even know when you put them in, Chris. I mean, it's a deep end of the pool no matter when you throw them in.
I would love to not put them in.
So,
no matter the record.
But it's going to be Jayden Daniels week 1 in Tampa, and obviously we've got Caleb Mania.
Oh,
but that's your
2 weeks.
That's your rookie quarterback update. And by the way, what about Bo Nix in Denver? I think he will start week 1. I think you will see that.
Yep.
J.J. McCarthy won't, and the Penix,
who knows,
Cousins situation, as we like to refer to it in sports, that will hopefully for the Falcons not have to play out until they're picking Super Bowl confetti out of their hair in the home of their hated rivals. I mean, that's on the Falcons' radar screen for this year. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.